Something was wrong, terribly wrong, and I was about to find out why.
The Midnight Files, horror stories that haunt. Welcome, where every story.
I should have run. That's the only thought that echoes in the hollow chambers of my mind now, a constant, mocking reminder of my arrogance. Now I see her everywhere, a fleeting glimpse in a darkened window, a chilling presence in my peripheral vision, a girl with no shadow. But let me rewind. Let me take you back to the beginning so you understand why I'm sharing this story, this warning. What I'm about to tell you will challenge everything you think you know about reality. Are you ready to question what's real? Because once you hear this, you can't unhear it. 3 weeks ago, fueled by a cocktail of youthful arrogance and a thirst for the unexplained, I decided to visit a dark subway platform. Everyone in town knew the stories, whispered them like forbidden secrets. A place where the veil between worlds thinned, especially on Friday the 13th. A place haunted by a girl with no shadow. Can you imagine seeing that? A being defying the very laws of physics? I, of course, scoffed, an educated man, a scientist by trade. Ghosts, demons, paranormal entities, all relegated to the realm of folklore and fiction. I needed proof, tangible evidence. I craved to expose the absurdity of these tales. I was so certain I was right. I planned to debunk the myth. Little did I know, I was about to become the subject of it. The moment I descended into a dark subway platform, the air changed. It wasn't just colder, it was heavy, oppressive, like a physical weight pressing down on me. The metallic tang of old blood filled my nostrils. My phone, previously displaying a full charge, flickered and died, just like that. A small thing, you might think, an old battery, but it was the first domino to fall. Have you ever experienced that feeling when technology inexplicably fails around you, when you sense something beyond the tangible? Then I heard it. A low, guttural groan, like metal screaming. It was the sound of doors opening by themselves. Not the mechanical whir of a modern train door, but the agonizing creak of ancient, rusted metal being forced ajar. The sound clawed at my sanity, setting my teeth on edge. What would you do? Would you turn back? I pressed on. I tried to rationalize it. Faulty mechanisms, wind whistling through the tunnels. But the sheer malevolence of the sound defied explanation. And then, in the dim, flickering light of a single defiant bulb, I saw her, a girl, standing motionless at the far end of the platform. But she had no shadow, not a faint, distorted shadow, no shadow at all. Just a void where her shadow should have been, a gaping hole in reality. My breath hitched, my heart hammered against my ribs like a trapped bird. Every rational thought I ever held evaporated in a wave of primal terror. I was paralyzed, rooted to the spot, unable to scream, unable to move. The world narrowed to the space between her and me. Can you imagine the sheer, unadulterated fear? She just stood there, watching me. Her eyes, I couldn't make out the color, but they seemed to burn with an ancient, malevolent intelligence. It was as if she was looking through me, seeing something I couldn't even comprehend. I felt utterly exposed, vulnerable, stripped bare. The sound of doors opening by themselves intensified, echoing around me like a chorus of tormented souls. The temperature plummeted further, and my breath turned to frost in the air.
And then I saw it. Lying on the grimy floor between us, an old toy. A porcelain doll, its painted eyes staring blankly ahead, radiating a faint, ethereal glow. You won't believe the feeling that emanated from that toy. The air crackled with an energy I could feel on my skin, a static charge, a premonition of something unspeakable.
What I found next changed everything. I managed to stumble away, back up the stairs, out into the blessed normalcy of the street. But the image of that girl, that void, that doll was burned into my retinas. I couldn't sleep, I couldn't eat. I was consumed by an all-encompassing dread. I had to understand. I needed to find a rational explanation, anything to banish the terror that now resided in my soul. I threw myself into research, scouring historical records, old newspapers, local archives. What I discovered chilled me to the bone. The dark subway platform had a history far darker than I could have ever imagined. Unexplained disappearances dating back over a century. Each case eerily similar. People vanishing without a trace, leaving behind only strange objects. An old toy, a tarnished locket, a single glove. Items seemingly ordinary, yet imbued with a lingering sense of sorrow and dread. Witnesses throughout the years had reported the same chilling vision. A girl with no shadow, appearing only on Friday the 13th, always at the same platform, always accompanied by doors opening by themselves and a bone-chilling drop in temperature. Skeptics dismissed it as urban legend, mass hysteria, but the sheer consistency of the reports, the chilling details, defied rational explanation. Many people have experienced this. Objects moving on their own, cold spots, unexplained whispers. The pattern was undeniable. Something malevolent was at play. I couldn't just walk away. I had to know more. Was this some sort of elaborate hoax or something far, far worse? On my third visit to a dark subway platform, things escalated dramatically. This time, a thick, swirling fog clung to the platform, obscuring the far end. As I strained to see through the gloom, I noticed movement. Another figure. This one shrouded in the fog, indistinct and shifting. Then another. I wasn't just seeing a ghost. I was witnessing something far more complex, far more organized. A ritual, perhaps? A gathering of something else. It was no longer just a girl with no shadow. The two entities seemed to be communicating, though not in any language I could comprehend. Their movements were synchronized, their forms flickering in and out of existence. They were showing me something, trying to convey a message that my rational mind struggled to grasp. The message was despair, pure, unadulterated despair. The worst was yet to come. Through piecing together historical records, local testimony, and my own terrifying experiences, I began to understand the truth. This dark subway platform wasn't just haunted, it was a wound, a tear in the fabric of reality. Decades ago, something terrible happened there. A massacre, a ritual gone wrong. Something so horrific that it left an indelible mark on the place, creating a conduit for else. The entities I encountered weren't trying to harm me, at least not directly. They were trying to warn me, to show me the consequences of crossing that boundary, of peering into the abyss. They were trapped, tethered to this place, forever reliving their final moments. This isn't just a ghost story. I stopped my investigations after that night. Some doors are best left unopened. Some knowledge comes at too high a price. The experience changed me, shattered my comfortable worldview. I see things differently now, notice patterns and presences that others ignore. I feel a constant sense of unease, a prickling sensation that I am being watched. What I didn't know then was that I was bringing something back home with me. That feeling is not going away. I'm telling you this story now because I need you to understand the truth. The dark subway platform isn't just a location on a map, it's a doorway. And the girl with no shadow isn't just a ghost story. She's real. More real than I ever wanted to know. Sometimes, late at night, I still feel that presence watching me. I see the girl with no shadow in my peripheral vision, always just out of direct sight. Doors opening by themselves now occur in my own home, a chilling reminder of that night. I brought something back with me, something I can't get rid of. The porcelain doll. It's still in my possession. I've tried to destroy it, burn it, bury it, but it always returns. It's bound to me now, a permanent reminder of my arrogance, my curiosity, my mistake. At night, I can hear it whispering things I don't understand, showing me visions of things that haven't happened yet, or perhaps have already happened in other times, other dimensions. It shows me possible futures, futures filled with fear and despair. To anyone reading this, heed my warning. If you're thinking of visiting a dark subway platform, don't. It doesn't matter how brave you think you are, how skeptical, how prepared. None of that matters when you're face to face with something that exists outside the rules of reality. You might think this only happens in movies, but it's very real. And if you do go, despite everything I've told you, and you encounter a girl with no shadow, don't look her in the eyes. Don't touch an old toy. And whatever you do, don't bring anything back with you. Don't make the mistake I did. Because once you cross that threshold, once you acknowledge that these things are real, you can never go back to the comfortable ignorance you had before. You become marked, watched, connected to something ancient and terrible that exists in the shadows between moments. Listen carefully to this warning. I made that mistake on Friday the 13th at a dark subway platform. And every day since, I've paid the price. Now, it's your choice. Don't let my story become your story too. Don't go searching for things that are better left undisturbed. Have you ever felt watched? Comment below and tell me your story. This isn't the only story I have, and maybe, just maybe, sharing them will ease the burden. What would you do?